Good morning, dear students. Good morning, all of you. How are you all? Fine. Okay, so dear students, in this video of class 9 for the week, we are going to talk about the conceptual question as our chapter is already finished. So we will start the conceptual questions, and the very first question you can see that the smoke and fog both are aerosols. You know, no? There are two types of aerosols, solid aerosols and liquid aerosols, and in that one the disperse phase and dispersion phase we are talking about, that is the actually colloids. And colloids, you know, that is a mix, that two types of colloids are there. Disperse, two phases are there actually in the colloids. First one is disperse phase and second one is dispersion phase. Okay, now somewhere you will see that dispersion medium is also written, so no problem. So here the question is, smoke and fog both are aerosols. In what way are they different? In what way are they different? So you can see here, if the answer is the given that smoke and fog both are aerosol, which means that dispersion medium is common. Okay, now dispersion medium is common. That, but their dispersed phase are different. Okay, now in smoke, here you can say the dispersed phase in the smoke is carbon particles, but in the fog the dispersed phase is water. Okay, now dispersion medium there is no issue, but there you can see in the smoke carbon particles would be the dispersed phase, and in the dispersion phase water would be that. So this is only one difference by which we can say that smoke and fog both are different. Okay, now okay, so the next question we will do, and the second question is, what will you observe, what will you observe in following experiment? One of the experiment has given first A part and B part, two parts are there for the experiment. A part, that carbon disulfide is added to a mixture of iron and sulfur. Means you have to understand this question. Carbon disulfide, CS2, what? CS2 disulfide, carbon CS2, I can write like this one, CS2, this one is carbon disulfide, is added to a mixture of iron and sulfur. And now you should understand, a mixture of iron and sulfur, Fe plus S, what it will form? It will form FeS. Okay, now so iron sulfide. Now iron sulfide, a mixture. In this iron sulfide I have added this carbon disulfide. What will happen? We will talk, we will see the answer. But you can see that carbon disulfide is actually, sulfur gets dissolved in the carbon disulfide, so this sulfur will dissolve in the carbon disulfide and leaving the iron. Okay, now so this you can say carbon disulfide is added to a mixture of iron and sulfur, then it will form, first of all, mixture of iron and sulfur will form iron sulfide, and then when I will add the carbon sulfide into that one, carbon sulfide disulfide will dissolve the sulfur and iron will remain. Okay, now leaving behind the iron particles. Here it is written. Okay, now next question you can see, dilute H2SO4 is added to a compound formed by iron and sulfur. There is the same questions, iron and sulfur. So iron and sulfur that I have given, FeS will form, FeS will form. And when you will add H2SO4, so H2SO4 when you will add into this one, what will happen? What will happen? So you should know, dear student, H2 and S will form one of the compound, and that is H2S. That is H2S, and H2S is actually, you can say H2S is hydrogen sulfide. H2S is hydrogen sulfide, and that will smell like a rotten egg. That will smell like a rotten egg. So you can see here the question is, dilute H2SO4 is added to a compound formed by iron and sulfur. So iron plus sulfur, it will form iron sulfide, and iron sulfide when mixed with the H2SO4 it has formed H2S, and it will smell like a rotten egg. Okay na, just you will smell hydrogen sulfide is smell like that one. Okay, so that you can write in your observations. Here the questions is given, what will you observe in following experiment, so you write in both the case. Okay, then after you can see explain why particles of colloidal solution do not settle down when left undisturbed, while in the case of a suspension they do. It is the question is that colloidal solution do not settle down. Colloidal solution, if some of the dispersion phase is there, dispersion phase is there, so that will not settle down at the bottom, but in the suspension they will settle down. Why this is so? You know, dear student, that in the colloidal solution there are dispersed phase and the dispersion phase. Dispersed phase, you can see here, dispersed phase have same charges, has same charge. Here it is written due to the same charges. So same charges, you have heard about or not, like charges repel each other, unlike charges attract each other. So you can say same charges is there, means plus plus same charges would be there. If minus is there, minus minus same charges, so there is no attraction, or also they will not accumulate together and they will settle down at the bottom. No, they will try to find some distance. If they will settle down, all the particles will settle down, that means attraction is there, that's why they are collecting together at the bottom. So they are actually one particle, if it is settling down at the bottom, one particle will try to keep some distance between that, and they will not go to settle down at the bottom. So you can say due to the same charges on the surface of colloidal particles, here it is written, same charges on the surface of colloidal particles, they remain at a particular distance, but in the suspension there are no charge concepts are there. Okay na, so that's why suspension particle will settle down at the bottom. Okay, the next question you can see, why does a doctor transfuse 5% dextrose solution when a patient suffers from severe dehydration? Dehydration means what? Dehydration means loss of water, body fluids. Body fluids means salt can also, they can lose, mineral can also lose, water is already lost by that patient. Okay na, dextrose 5% dextrose solution is actually fulfill all the desired requirement which actually a patient needs. Okay na, so we can say that to balance the amount of, here it is written, to balance the amount of water and different salts or different minerals in the body, 5% dextrose solution is given to dehydrated patient. Okay na, now the next question you can see, what are the main difference between colloids and suspension, and this is very important question. So okay na, so colloids, most of them are stable, that is their concentration do not change. Concentration means amount of solute. Concentration, I have told you, that means amount of solute will never change. Okay na, concentration do not change, so that's why these are stable, they are not trying to settle down at the bottom. Right now I have told na, one question is there, was there, charges are same. Okay na, charges are same, that means they don't want to move here and there, they are stable. Okay na, stable means what? Stable means they are at the fixed position, they are not moving here and there. If they someone is moving here and there, that means they are unstable. So this one is colloidal solution. Colloidal solution are stable, that means suspension would be unstable. Their particles may pass through ordinary filter paper. Yes, it may be there that particles may pass through ordinary filter paper, because ordinary filter paper have lots of pores from that one. And one of the example you can see that the particle size is in between 10 to the power minus 7 to 10 to the power minus 5 centimeter. The particle can be seen with a microscope, and here the example is blood particles. Okay na, here one more thing you can write, the particles range, that one is 10 to the power minus 7 to 10 to the power minus 5 centimeter. Now you can see suspension, as I have talked about that one, this is the difference between colloids and suspension. In the suspension they must be unstable. Take one example of sand plus water, sand will settle down at the bottom. Okay na, that sand is unstable, they cannot suspend it in the liquid, so that's why they will settle down at the bottom. Their particles do not pass through ordinary filter paper. Okay na, because the particle sizes are big and ordinary filter paper holes are less, so they cannot pass through that filter paper. Okay now, okay, so they cannot pass through the filter paper. Their particles can be seen even with the naked eyes. We know na, that sand plus water, sand can be easily seen with the naked eyes. Okay now, so that is the difference between colloids and suspense. Okay dear students, thank you all of you, take care of yourself, thank you.